So over the last 6 months, I've been musing about the idea of one day checking out of the United States. I almost thought about it at the beginning of the COVID crisis before we had locked the borders. I thought about flying out of the country and spending what was going to be a 1 or 2 month quarantine in another country. And I noticed something today that bothered me. So during the whole COVID-19 situation, a lot of places have locked their public bathrooms, right? Whether it be at the store, even at the park. For me, it's not necessarily the end of the world. I'm not too afraid to urinate in public. I'm pretty good at finding places to do that. But it made me think about the implications, right? Some people might not urinate in public in a safe way. Other people might have to walk somewhere else in order to use another restroom. And do we really need people to be walking half a mile to use a bathroom when they're coughing and sneezing and who knows what else, right? It really made me think about that. And then I thought about why here in the U.S. it seems to be so hard to find somebody who will let you use the bathroom. See, I've traveled to quite a few other countries. Some of these countries I can't speak the language, right? So I've traveled to Taiwan. I speak Chinese, but not nearly as fluently as English. And then I've been to Japan. I've been to Poland. I'm trying to think of Mexico. I'm trying to think about where the most challenging place I've ever been to in terms of language was. I would say probably Japan. In Japan, most of the signs, even at the subway station, don't have English. In Mexico and Poland, you can usually get around seeing plenty of English. Okay, so I'll go into a store that probably doesn't really like to let people use their bathrooms in some of these countries, and I don't seem to have a problem talking my way into it for some reason. Then here in the United States, even when I can speak very fluent English, I can mingle with some of these people very well. We can talk about everything under the sun, right? And nobody will let me use the bathroom. You would think people could exercise some good judgment, right? You would think that people could tell that you're not the kind of person who's going to go into the bathroom and destroy the place or to shoot drugs or anything like that, right? The problem is that our culture, in all its wisdom, has decided that if you let some people use the bathroom but not others, even though you're practicing good human judgment, that it's a form of discrimination, right? This doesn't seem to apply in a lot of other cultures around the world, right? Here in the U.S., anything, except when it's against single people, right? If you want to discriminate against singles at the workplace, oh, you're single, you have all this extra time, you don't need your vacation, you don't need money as much as the rest of the team, that's fine, right? Any other discrimination is very taboo in our society for some reason, right? Sometimes when I see at my workplace, they talk about these LG, what is it? Anyways, a 4 or 5 letter acronym for all the different relationships. Sometimes I put an S at the end of it, and I say, don't forget the S. And sometimes on the bulletin board, I'll literally write an S into the acronym. We're having a meeting about LGBTQ rights, and then I'll put an S at the end. And people give me a funny look when they realize it's me who wrote it. But that's fine. But at the moment you look into somebody's eyes and you can tell that they're not going to be destructive about the bathroom. They're just, maybe it's an elderly person, or maybe even a disabled person, maybe even a child who wants to use the bathroom. All of a sudden, you can't practice good judgment there. That's discrimination. See, this is the kind of, maybe the bathroom's not the end of the world, but this is the kind of thinking that got us into the COVID-19 mess, in my opinion. See, part of the reason that we're having so much trouble getting people to put that on is because the moment, see, there are some people who legitimately can't put on a mask, right? But because we're not allowed to practice good judgment on that, right? we have to excuse everybody else who doesn't want to put on a mask, right? Because, oh my God, they might have this rare medical condition that affects 1 in a billion people, and if you even look at them in the wrong way, they can sue you for $1 million, right? That's the kind of culture we live in, right? We call it a zero tolerance, but it's zero common sense, right? We're willing to throw out all human common sense in order to have this rule book that we have to follow bullet point by bullet point, right? Which is also exacerbated by all this technology, right? Because obviously technology can't tell, well, maybe that's changing, but can't easily tell who legitimately uses who needs to use the bathroom and who doesn't, right? Actually, technology might be able to do that without the biases, right? Maybe that will change things, right? Who knows?